Welcome back to Freedom Finance with Lanny, guys, and today we're going to deep dive into the results of my investing into Vanguard's VOO, the S&P 500, every single day since April of 2022. Fast forward all the way here to October 17th. We're going to talk about why I decided to do every single day into VOO, how much I've been doing, how much I actually put in then to VOO over this time period, how much it's worth, and we're going to compare a little bit too to doing a lump sum versus my dollar cost averaging method, guys. So grab your favorite beverage, your coffee, your beer, your liquor, your water. No, I'm kidding, guys, but let's have fun. Let's dive into seeing what this actually came out to be. Let's get it. All right, so let's go back to April 11th, 2022. The market at this point was a little shaky. Interest rates just started to rise out there thanks to Papa Powell, but we just came off of 2 strong years in the stock market. And I wanted to start investing regardless, right? I had the VYM strategy, which you guys all know and love. Check out the last video, crossing over $100,000 into VYM. But I wanted to just grab the entire stock market, or at least the S&P 500, the top 500 US companies. And I like Vanguard's ETFs, and Vanguard has their VOO. Again, V stands for 5, VOO 500. So it's a little cliche and play on the S&P 500. Low expense ratio, guys. And I invest with the SoFi investing app. Again, they're not paying me to do this, but link is below there because I invest automatically. I don't have to think about it. It just, it's like clockwork. Every single day I've been buying VOO on the SoFi app. And I wanted to just continuously invest no matter what was happening in the stock market. And I'm actually really glad I did because, 2022 had some deep lows. 2023, we had a little bit of a ride up so far. Obviously, the last couple of months have been a little shaky coming back downwards. And I felt like, hey, I'm grabbing a single piece every single day without timing up a large lump sum purchase. Now, guys, I know that there's many arguments and analyses on lump sum versus dollar cost average, or DCA for those new investors who are curious. Sometimes investors talk about DCA, so that's kind of what that stands for. And, where lump sum wins or DCA wins. Well, I'm more of a DCA guy just because I usually don't have, 25 grand just to plop into the stock market. So I invest when I have money and, let's start it out. So I actually started out at $50 a day, $50 a day into VOO. It's a lot, $250 a week right out the gate when I started. And then actually over time, I got a little crazy. I moved that up and started investing $60 a day. So from $250 a week to $300 a week into Vanguard's S&P 500 VOO. So from pretty much April, I believe it was April 11, 2022 when I started, here up through October 17th, you're talking the number of weekdays was approximately 396, give or take. And I say weekdays because, the stock market isn't open sometimes on those holidays. But luckily on the SoFi investing app, again, this is why I love it. If there's a holiday on a Monday, one would think, well, I'm only going to invest 4 days this week. Well, actually SoFi on that Tuesday will actually do 2 orders of 50 each or 60 each. So they'll make sure you get the full 5 days in during the week. So I literally have invested every single weekday over the course of that time period. So again, I wanted to take the emotion out of investing. I wanted to grab the top 500. I wanted some of that growth, some of that yield, which again, the yield's usually between 1.5, 1.75%. Dividend growth on the S&P 500, usually somewhere between 8 and 10% on the dividend side of things, guys. So I wanted to just grab the entire S&P 500 with no emotion, automatically allocating. So how much have I invested? Well, you can do the quick math. 396 times, the number of days, you can get to around $23,760 over that time frame. $23,760. However, when the stock market was rocking downwards in 2022, I kept with my normal schedule, but I was doing other, I guess, dollar drops in there. Maybe 100 here, an extra 50 there, an extra 300 there into VOO when those prices were really coming down, if you guys remember in 2022, to really capture more of that as it was coming down into the 370s, 360s of the VOO stock price. So actually, in total, I probably added another 3,500 on top of that consistent daily investment. So in total, I'm probably around somewhere $27.2 thousand of my total cost or capital invested into the VOO. So for the sake of this, let's say it's $27,500, and I'll show exactly what my cost is within the SoFi app. I'll show you images, some screenshots of my trades. I'll show you all that throughout the video, guys. So let's actually still go back. VOO back on April 11th was actually trading at $404 a share, guys. So if you did a lump sum then, fast forward to now, they're trading at $400.57 as of October 16th. So take a second. The stock price is actually down. So if you actually did a lump sum then, you're actually more than likely down on your investment by doing that lump sum average. But I think the big question is, how is this guy doing with buying Vanguard's S&P 500 every single day? So we know the return was about a negative 1% over that time frame if you did that lump sum. Again, taking that April 11th price all the way through October 16th. Now here you can see my cost basis is $27,985. But what else is included in that cost basis? Well, I reinvest my dividends, guys. So actually my dividends that I've earned off of owning the S&P 500 ETF VOO is also included in that $27,985. So how much in dividends have I received? Well, here it shows $408.38. So I've reinvested back into VOO, pretty much got a share for that. So just know that right now almost 28,000 of my cost, including dividends, reinvested, was my cost basis. Now the total market value that you see here is actually $28,856.44. So in fact, I'm not down 1% if I just invested everything on April 11th. I'm actually up 6.69% since that point in time. So since I've been doing this, I'm actually crushing what the S&P 500 has done over that time period, guys. So in this example, in the 18 months that I've been doing this, I've actually outperformed by I guess you can call it 5.6%, 5.7% over that time frame. Which it's not actually, technically it's you add the 1% to the 669, so I'm actually beating it by 769 since it was a -1. So I'm actually doing fairly well by dollar cost averaging every single day into Vanguard's VOO. Again, I was catching it into the threes, the mid threes, the upper 300s, low 400s, and I was catching it also at the high point. But the fact is that this method has allowed me to outperform the S&P 500 since that point in time. So what do I plan on doing? That's really the next question. I plan on sticking to the $60 a day strategy. I'm not going to change it, lower it, raise it. I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to keep doing $60 a day. It's obviously doing something here for me. I'm earning dividends as well. I'm catching the growth from the S&P 500 because I realize my dividend stock portfolio, when you think about it too, I'm not really tech heavy. When you think of the Teslas, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, or Alphabet, I don't own any of those companies in my dividend stock portfolio. So I'm actually getting all of that within this S&P 500 ETF of VOO. So guys, I know that was a lot. So to summarize, I'm outperforming the S&P 500 by about 7.7% rounded since I started. Again, April 11th through October 17th. I'm dollar cost averaging, to take the emotion out of it, to grab the entire S&P 500 or the top 500 US companies. I get the exposure that I don't have within the Dividend stock portfolio. I get some of the growth that I know growth investors like to see, so I'm capturing some of that. And hey, they still pay a dividend yield of between 1.5, 1.75%. And you do expect to get dividend growth from it because, again, it's containing the top 500 US companies with a significant number of companies that increase their dividends every single year in there. So what do you guys think about this strategy? Are you guys buying an ETF or a single individual stock every single week, month, day? You know, again, I love the SoFi app. This does make my life a heck of a lot easier. And I really wish that I had this many years ago, even when I was investing heavily into individual stocks. I really wish I would have had an app like this that makes it easy, automatic, and I don't have to think about it. So, again, let me know if you have an automatic strategy as well and which app you use, guys. Again, let me know in those comments. What else would you guys like to see here on this channel? Again, I'm sticking with this plan. I'm sticking with the journey. I'm trying to get to financial freedom. And I'm hoping that this video here helps you on your journey as well. So guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep saving. Let's keep investing. And I'll catch you on the next one.